What's going on, Cancer? Fuck. There goes my lighter. I really thought I had it set up so it wouldn't just fall like that. I keep having this hive pop up in the same spot. What does that mean? I never get hives. And now I'm getting this one hive. Oh, now it's two. It's been coming in the exact same spot for like the last 3 days. If anybody knows what that means, I mean, I could Google it. I guess I just thought of that now. I'll Google it. Like, what does that mean to have a hive pop up 3 days in a row in the same spot? Like, I have a lot of allergies, but like not since I was a kid. Like, this is really weird. Maybe I'm stressed. I thought maybe that's what it was before. Like being stressed out. Oh yeah, one of my bracelets broke yesterday. Which is good I'm not selling them, because I have to get way better chains. But yeah, it fell off me yesterday, which is so weird. Something broke, maybe? Cancer? If I'm getting the message properly here, I feel like it's a possibility that something broke in your life. When things break, it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? All right, so Spirit's letting me know that this reading is bringing up something from the past. Yeah, like something broke, you know, like I said. Maybe it has something to do with that. Like maybe something in your life has to break for something to give way. But we've got the shark. So something is definitely hiding below, okay? And it's about to surface itself. This is not something that's going to hurt you. Okay, so we have caution in reverse. It's not even really something that you have to be warned about or cautioned about, which makes me feel like it's something good, okay? We've also got conspiracies, which is theories only, okay? So basically, you're pulling at strings, okay? You couldn't get the full information on what's about to surface if you tried. I think that's kind of what I'm getting. Some things are so buried that the universe doesn't want you to find out until you're ready to find out. It's kind of perfect when you think about it, right? Like to have something hidden for so long, right? And not have, like, would you rather know that something's growing for you or have it growing in secret and then once it's done, just be given to you? Because some people, everybody likes it different ways, right? Some people like to be prepared and see the process. Other people, they don't really care. They just want it done. So then they can progress, right? It's just up to you, basically, however way the river flows for you, okay? Everyone's different. So, and then we got Pandora with the oldies. So, when I designed these cards, when I did these cards, I trust every channeled message that comes from them because there was a reason why I channeled the initial card to begin with, right? So what I'm getting is that something is lurking below that you couldn't, because nothing is set in stone. Okay, it isn't. I mean, it can be picked up like it's going to happen, but the way that it happens is always going to be different. The universe can usually predict something that's going to happen, but if it's on a broad spectrum, like you're going to have a house, or you're going to have kids, or you're going to get married, or you're going to have a career, or you're going to graduate. It has to be something broad. Right? It has to be something that can be worked with, because how you get to that milestone is how you get to it. They can't always, nobody can for sure lay the road down for somebody to futuristically walk down. Right? So what I'm getting is anything can happen, but to be able to pre-predict it, the universe is like, don't even try, because I feel like it's so masterminded. Like it's intricate, and it's been weaved, and it's been a process is taking place, and it's doing something. And it's almost like the universe is at the stage right now in this reading where you've seen what the universe is capable of doing for you in the past. So just go off of that. Right? And I'm talking more good than bad. Okay? Even though the things that happen to us in bad, there is good and light in it. It just depends how you're choosing to look at the situation. Right? Like say, I just got an abusive spouse, right? So a woman or a man grabs all their stuff, but then has to go and live in a shelter, right? There's good and bad to that. Like, yes, okay, you have to live in a shelter, and that's awful, and I wouldn't recommend it for anybody because the conditions are absolutely redonkulous, okay? But you just got away from an abusive partner, and your life is now on the right track to getting better, right? So there's, yeah, okay, you're at a shelter, and yeah, you just lost your husband, but there's abuse there, and now there's a tunnel moving forward to light, right? You have to kind of like, I knew this one lady when I was living in Calgary. Calgary has this shelter downtown that is quite known for, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful shelter. It's little tiny micro apartments inside. So they're basically like studio apartments inside. They all have like kitchenettes and a bed, and it's beautiful, and it's actually been spoke about and gotten quite a lot of publicity for. And a woman who I was working with at the time, she had to go and stay there for a few days. And it's because her boyfriend, was kicking the shit out of her. So she's like, man, I went down and stayed at that shelter. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like she only did like the door on Friday nights when it was super busy. And I don't think she actually had a job. I think she was on ODSP at the time. So she's even getting disability as it is. So like she didn't have anywhere to go. So they emergency took her in, and she loved it. Like not loved it, but you know what I mean? Like I mean, I haven't seen a shelter look like that before. So some of them, like if you can get into the nicer shelters, right? I'm sure you probably can. They will find you somewhere to live. It does take a while, but trust me, any step away from an abusive situation is one step closer to a way healthier life, right? Abuse is that. It's abuse. And it doesn't matter if it's coming through your work, if it's coming through your personal life, if it's coming through your personal life, private life or personal life, abuse is abuse, right? So I feel like maybe there is like some type of liberation coming out for somebody, right? Where now the scales are evening, right? Because they know that you're not a drama queen. Okay. When you say that something is going on, right? Whether people want to believe you or not, I'm sick and tired of going off of other people's beliefs, because other people's belief systems are fucked. Like the things that they hear versus the facts that are written down, two totally different things. A lot of people have no idea they're schizophrenic. And what they hear about other people upon initial meeting, or the information that they acquire over your time together, can be so manipulated by something so dark. Like you lose your friendships, you lose your state of mind, you lose your trust. There are so many things you lose because people become open vessels, and they will just fuck you over as soon as they want to. As soon as you just show a little bit of difference towards somebody, right? Look at that compass. Okay. And then with narcissists in reverse. Okay, so I do feel like you're getting away from somebody. There's the bully card. I was feeling a bully, to be honest. And what do you know? It's a camoed bully. So it's even somebody that's hiding themselves because they're a fucking coward. And they can't, like, do you realize that so many bullies, I mean, they'll attack you when no one's really watching. And then when you confront them about it, they'll act like you're crazy. Right? Because they're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide how they're acting so that nobody else can see their true colors. Right? I'm the kind of person, my whole life, I've always made people show their true colors just upon my natural essence. I piss people off so much that their natural instincts come out, and the monster that they're hiding behind shows itself instantly. Because people, they look at me and they just get angry. I just make people angry. I make people angry all the time. And I'm like, man, it must suck to be you, because I don't know what you're seeing in me, but I shouldn't be making you angry. I should be doing the opposite. So the fact that you're getting angry, what the fuck are you channeling? Like, what are you hearing up there? Because I should not make you angry. Nobody should make anybody angry when they look at you, right? Like, that's something in them that is being triggered by just the sight of you, just the mere sight. Like, how shitty does that sound to be them? Like, would you want to be that? Honestly, I sure as fuck wouldn't. So it's like someone is being guided, okay? Or the universe has opened up that you have been bullied. Okay, and like I said, man, something happened at my work the other day, and these two guys sitting at the bar watched me get bullied. Like, straight on. And I remember coming home and telling my sister, and then all of a sudden she kind of put two and two together, like, those two men were your witnesses. Like, whatever happened, whatever I was supposed to expose with whomever was a part of it, those two guys had to watch me. Because sometimes you have to take one up the ass, you know, like, it's just your time to expose somebody. So you have to take the blunt of it, right? But then by them treating you a certain way in front of everybody else, then you get witnesses. Then you start to build a team on your side to show abuse that's being clearly played right in front of your face, right? And if you've had people in the past that haven't believed you, okay, or called you a drama queen and said, oh, nobody bullies you. Nobody treats people like that. You're making it up. You just don't want to go to work. You just don't want to have to go to school because you're being bullied, right? So many people don't want to believe in bullies because they think that people are using them as an excuse. And a bully is a bully. You think your kid's telling you as an excuse? Then I don't know, man, you got to like work on your relationship with your kid. Like, if you think your kid's automatically lying to you, then you need to talk to your kid. Like, if you believe your kid, then you need to do something about it, because bullies get down to a point where bullies can make you want to kill yourself. And do you see how I said that? Make you want to end yourself because of their treatment. Bullies should be arrested upon initial interrogation of you, initial attack. They should be reprimanded instantly for what they do. But for the most part, people don't want to be reprimanded. Like, bosses don't want to reprimand their staff. They don't want to get their staff in trouble. They don't want to rock the boat because they think their staff's not going to show up, and then they got to hire somebody again. Most managers don't want to do their job, right? And their job consists of, well, if you've got to fire an employee, guess what? You're working that shift if there's nobody else. Managers don't want to do that because then they have to do their job on top of that. And then that's two jobs. Well, guess what? You're a fucking manager. You want to get paid the amount? You've got to do the job. But what I've noticed with managers, they want to get the money and they don't want to do the work because the work is too much. It's too much work to deal with all of you. Yeah, but you want the paycheck, which means if you want the paycheck, you have to do the job. If you're not willing to do the job, the world's not going to give you the paycheck. So someone's got to watch their fucking mouth around how they're dealing with shit with you. Because from the sounds of it, everything they're doing is completely hypocritical. Hypocritical? That doesn't make sense. It's completely, you know that word. Where they say something, but then they do it. What do you call that? I can't think of the word. That's everyday dyslexia right there. Anyways, you know those people. So this bully, from the sounds of it, because I can't even think of the word, what they're doing is they're telling you not to do something while they go and do it. Hypothetical? Why do I feel like that's the right word, but it just doesn't sound right? Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm getting stuck on that. Someone's making me getting stuck on something, and I'm just going to move on. So they know that, like, it's like the universe knows that you're not the liar. Okay, so something might have happened in the past, okay, and you just had to get away from it because you knew that there was something way bigger to the situation than was actually coming to surface. Because a lot of people hide things, man. They hide majority of their shit. They don't want anybody to know about it. And the more somebody hides, the more they're going to take it out on you, because they don't want you uncovering things about them. They want you to leave them alone so then they continue to hurt people in a hurt energy. Right? So there's definitely, you're getting driven away from a bully because it's making you sad. It's doing something to you. And now the universe has checked in. Like, why is this person acting that way? Like, you know what I'm getting is like, when dogs or kids all of a sudden start acting abused, right? And somebody, a parent or an owner, has to start putting up cameras because when they get home, their kids aren't the same. Or when, they get home, their dog's not the same and is cowering and he's hiding under things. Like, there's abuse happening. Okay. But somebody can't see it because it's narcissistic. So they're derailing somebody's ability to want to watch them. They're derailing it to other things. So then this person gets no attention drawn to them. They don't want any attention on them. They want to continue to do what they're doing hidden. Okay. But they can't be hidden anymore because we've already opened up the box. The world has opened up the box. And that's the thing, is like, once you know something, you can't unknow it. You have to program yourself to delete it. And if you don't, that memory is always going to be there. So it kind of seems like no matter how much somebody tried to hide something, it was clear as day. Oops. Yeah. Literally. Oops is right. Ooh. We just got Hex and Scissors. With the old Warlock in reverse. Which means there is definitely some type of evil, masculine energy that has been wanting you to be in bad luck. Okay? They are a corpse. They're a dead man walking. Okay? Like, this bully is a dead man walking. I don't think those cards have ever come back to back like that. I don't think ever. I don't think these two cards have ever come up in the exact same reading back to back like that. They're almost the exact same card. I never even realized that. We got Panic, Prophecy, Murder, Poison, Hearth and Home, Exit, with Loser and Mercy in reverse. Like, so, honestly, if you have been wanting to get out of something or get away from something, it's going to happen, okay? The world is well aware that you're in anxiety, okay? That anxiety is going to physically cause harm soon to you. So they want you to get out of this, okay? Because it's affecting your home. You might be moving, okay? But the world is definitely going to end something for you that involves a bully. Because for some reason, the attention all directly goes on to this bully. And I don't think people believe that they are a bully. If they're getting as much attention as what they are in this reading, they act sad and they do kind of narcissistic activities. And people don't realize it because they're that much in somebody's face that they can't see it. They're like the perfect disguise, okay, of being a good person. And that's why this bullying thing doesn't seem right? It doesn't seem like people are going to believe you when you say that you're bullied by a certain individual that is so liked on their community. Well, that's nice. Doesn't matter. You know, just because they're liked in their community, it doesn't mean I don't trust anybody that doesn't have enemies. Because you've got to have at least one or two enemies out there to prove to me that you're a legit person. If you don't have any enemies, that means that you're just trying to make friends with everybody, which kind of makes it seem like you're taking it up the ass. Correct? You just want to bend over. When you have enemies out there, it allows people to know that you have boundaries, which people then don't like. Because for the most part, people are invasive. They're like some type of deadly species, and they're invading people's lives and turning people from really good to really bad because their life sucks, right? You make the life that you're in. It's based off of your karma. And if you don't like it, and if it's a shitty situation, then you can change your perception on it because you're the one in the suit. If you can't control how you feel about something, how do you expect other people to control you? Or why would you want other people to control you when you're in this vessel? You have to decide what happens with it, not somebody else. So if somebody's out there and they're camouflaged in this bully narcissistic suit that nobody can see, but they're taking their shit out on you, this person is going to be poisoned. Okay? The future sees them dying of being poisoned. So, like, whether or not that's poisonous thoughts, poisonous food, alcohol poisoning, there is poison. Whether it's in them or they are it, but this poison, okay, has what allowed to get somebody away from them. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of death here, which makes me think that this is the end. And the world, because it was mercy in reverse, I don't know why I put it up right, but because it was mercy in reverse, I feel like the world is not going to show them any mercy. Most likely because of the way that they chose to treat you. And that's what's called what goes around comes around. That's called karma. What you dish out is what you're going to get back. It's plain and simple. Plain and simple. What goes around comes around. If somebody wanted to hex you and hurt you in front of people narcissistically, then, like, I mean, the universe found out about it. Some people are deaf, dumb, and blind. They have no fucking idea what's happening right in front of their face because they're so self-absorbed, right? And all they can really see is them. And any screenplay is them, front and center, right? So they're not even going to realize what hits them. I think this person is so obnoxious in a sense that they will lose everything. If they cursed you, I heard it again, what goes around comes around. Like, I mean, you're not some drama queen. You're not looking to panic and start freaking out, right? You're just kind of like, oh, okay. So you're going to do this to me again? Well, I'm just going to leave. Because anytime I've ever done anything along these lines of how these people have fucked up, hasn't worked in my favor. Right? Somehow, some people are so evil that it doesn't matter what they do, society just loves them. And there are people that are true at heart, that are honest, hardworking people, and get labeled as drama queens and soap operas and liars and actors. Because society thinks it can't be done that way. You have to be a secret, hidden narcissist that's willing to run over people and kill them in order for your life to have meaning or be true. I keep hearing Adele, and never mind, I'll find someone like you. Like, so don't you worry. I'll find somebody probably just like you, but better than you. Right? I wish nothing but the best for you. But sometimes it hurts in love. And sometimes it lasts. And at this point in time, I think this person has really loved the position that they were in. And I think it's being taken away from them now. Because eventually everything ends. No matter how much people think they can be on the top of the mountain, eventually you have to come down. You can't stay up there. Nobody can live on the top of a mountain. Did you just see how those came out? Upright too, with accidents and money. You're going to accidentally get some money? Ha! I do think that this is kind of work related. And I do feel like somebody is on a gradual incline of bullshit. And whether or not it has something to do with you directly or it didn't, there is somebody around you that has to take responsibility for something, and it will cost them money, right? They are connected to the people who are backstabbing you, the people who are hurting you, right? In this club of people, you know, it seems like maybe they're the president of this club of people who don't like you, right? And they jump into people and they hurt you through other people, right? Well, now that's over with. That's being shattered. All right. Okay. It's being shattered. It's being broke, right? Because you know what it is? If people have been shit talking you or saying things behind your back and narcissistically attacking you in different positions, right? They've spoken out loud about it, which means other people have heard them. That's what somebody doesn't understand. That's what most people don't understand, is that you want to talk. Somebody's going to hear you that doesn't like what you're saying. And you're going to get told on, especially if you're in like a small town or something like that, or in like in a small group, right? And somebody in this group doesn't want you there. So they're trying to do things to get you to leave, and they're trying to do things to get people to turn against you. What they don't realize is that this person's going to be found out. Like people genuinely stick together. And when all of a sudden they see a villain, they will get brought out as the villain. Right? Like people aren't as deaf, dumb, and blind as what you think they are. And if you go out and you hurt somebody and no one's realizing it, then the universe brings that to justice for you. Because that means that some animal watched them. And when all the people in the world were listening and not doing anything, an animal heard and went and told their animal mom. Like, this doesn't seem right, you know, or a bird watched. Somebody listened, you know, and I it's so funny because I never saw animals as the cameras that they are, or the little recording devices that they are. Like your animal or animals around you are watching everything. Like this one time, my sister and I were driving like basically in the bush. Okay. And so you couldn't really, like, it's a very windy road, and a lot of forest, like almost to the tree, almost to the road line. Okay. And we're driving, and then we see this black bear just all of a sudden stand up on its hind legs. It was a juvenile black bear. You could tell it wasn't fully grown. But he was pretty big. I mean, I saw him pop his head up from a whole bunch of bushes, right? We're driving by. I'm like, hey, look, there's a bear. He's looking both ways. Okay. He looks this way on the road. He looks that way in the road. We both look in our rear view mirrors. He crossed the road. He looked both ways and then crossed the road. There was nobody behind us, and there was nobody in front of us, and we couldn't see any oncoming traffic. We were the only car around. He saw us. He looked both ways and fucking ran. Same thing happened with a squirrel yesterday. I was like, my sister was, I think she was just making a turn. I think she was just making a turn on the road because she was watching the road because she was driving. I was like, dude, that squirrel just watched and waited for no cars to be on the road so he could run across the road. Like you don't think animals aren't watching you? They're watching everything, right? Human and animal, like animals are way more smarter than what people think. Like their ability to ask for help, their ability to seek right? Their ability to trust humans, right? Like they know when something's good and they know when something's bad. Something will throw them off and they'll go running, right? Why aren't people more receptive like that? Why doesn't, when something throws you off, you just keep going? When if something's throwing you off, stop, evaluate. Like I've been trying to teach my sister and I what triggers us. So here I'm on the phone, right? I was trying to pay this fine. And because I'm not in that province anymore, I can't pay the fine because I don't have a license attached to that fine. And I waited 10 minutes on the phone to talk to somebody because I tried 3 or 4 different times to pay this fine and I couldn't online. Finally get somebody on the phone and she goes, yeah, we can't take payments over phone. Then why does it say on the website, for payment, please call? And she's like, well, I'll have to walk you through the steps. And I'm like, I don't want to walk through the steps. I just walk through the steps. I don't have a license. She's arguing with me over the phone. And she seems like she's the nicest person. And then all of a sudden she changes. And I got triggered because she said she couldn't help me. Why is there a number that says for help? Please call. If nobody is going to help, that triggers me. So I got triggered. I freaked out. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, oh my God, that was my trigger. She told me she couldn't help me. And I went into survival mode instantly, right? Happened when I was a kid. It's happened my whole fucking life. Now I realize it. Same thing with my sister. We're driving to go out of town. We stop at Tim Hortons. The lady kid who gave my sister the coffees, I was in the passenger seat, so I don't know. I didn't really see. She drove off without getting the Timbits because the lady didn't say anything to her. She didn't tell her the price. She didn't tell her change, nor did she say anything about the food. She didn't say anything to my sister. My sister was like, hi, how are you? She just shut the door. Oh, thanks. This lady wouldn't say anything. So that triggered my sister. My sister drove off without the Timbits. I realized down the road, I'm like, yo, where are those Timbits? And she's like, fuck, stupid fucking bitch, didn't fucking say anything. And I'm like, see, now you know that triggered you. Like, you know, by her not saying anything and by her not communicating with you, it triggered you. And then my sister calmed down right away. She was like, fuck, all right, that was it. Like, you have to figure out your triggers. Because if you are being bullied by somebody, they're triggering you in all these different ways. And eventually you're the one that's going to get in trouble because they know how to hurt you. So you hurt yourself. That's what a bully does. They make you want to kill yourself because they get into your head and they fuck with your words and they fuck with your love for yourself. They fuck with your psyche. They fuck with everything. Because they think they're powerful enough that they're allowed to do what they're doing, and they're not. You have to shut them down. And because obviously you can't hear what's going on, the universe is doing it for you. And now I'm literally hearing Accidents by Alexis on Fire. Like this bully, whoever is bullying you, is on sedatives. Like they are a machine. They are hooked up to everything, whereas you are not. They're hooked up to the machine. You're not. You're energetically hooked up to the universe. They're hooked up to money. They're hooked up to machine. They're hooked up to man-made things that are produced to hurt balanced energies that are not like them. Because for the most part, machines don't want us here. They don't want you getting good information. They don't want you understanding the complexities of a situation that's destroying you. They want you on sedatives. You know, they want you in a world that is so chaotic and so overwhelming that you go on prescription to calm down, right? When you learn how to calm down yourself, because the world is something you cannot control, and you deal with your PTSD and you deal with your trauma, right? Then you learn how to deal with the world in a completely different way. This person is hooked up. They're man-made. So they can't get the information clearly. So they want to hurt people who have that clarity that they can't reach. Even all the money in the world couldn't get them to hear their conscience correctly. How can you hear yourself when you're plugged into something else? All right. So we're going to end it at that. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you to the members. Oh, okay. I'm going to do a members video right now. I keep forgetting. I'm going to do it right now. So $4.99 a month for memberships. I'm going to do a reading every 3 to 4 days. They're very personalized. I deal with you and another person, right? Definitely not something that I do on this channel, right? I tend to bring up the situation, but I don't really tend to bring up both sides. So in the readings, I tend to bring up both sides, which is awesome because it's nice to know what other people think about a scenario that you're going through, right? So $4.99 a month. Awesome. Thank you so much to the original members that are on there already. And much love to you. And for personal readings, whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. And if not, just enjoy the channel and its ability to grow. And thank you for growing with us. Thank you for everything that you say and all your comments and all your likes. And I hope you guys had a wonderful, happy holiday. And Happy New Year to everybody. Love and light. Blessed be. Peace out. Word to your mothers. Oh, this just wanted to pop its little head out that clearly a message is coming through, and it's the perfect storm to go through, and it's mimosa time. So something is really going to happen with somebody. And you know what? It's almost like if you call a bully out, if you call a boss and tell them that a bully has hurt you, it might go a lot differently than you think. So FYI, just saying. It seems like some messages are coming in. So watch out for those emails and those text messages because somebody might be trying to get a hold of you. Look at alert, alert, alert. And maybe this person's been told to back off. It might not be a good message. You know, like some people, if they know that you've said something to management, that's the thing. They might start acting out on you. You know, and that's what happened at my work. I watched somebody do a drug deal. And then for the next month, he threw shit at me. Literally threw things at me. Talked shit about me in front of patrons, would refuse to speak to me when I was working with him. We're working at a bar. You can't not talk to your fellow bartender. Like the repercussions of me telling my boss about a drug deal, they almost cost me my job. So, and I have to deal with him every day. Like, so always remember that if there is a bully out there that's fucking breaking the rules, if you do say something, you might end up being the bad guy because then you have to deal with the wrath of everybody else and telling a manager and being known as the narc. But guess what? I'd rather be known as the narc than the asshole. Word to your mothers.